अल्लाह ताला हमें आज फिर जलसा सलाना यूके में शमूलियत की तौफीक अता फरमा रहा है।
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन jalsa salana ahlan wa sahlan brethren around the world we welcome you all to Jalsa Salana UK.
3 blessed days, 5 inspirational speeches, 1 emotional bed.
You are welcome.
We all witnessed the immense responsibility Huzoor carried at Jalsa Salana UK. But away from the public eye, there was even more work, through the days and late into each night. MTA International will now take you behind the scenes, joining Huzoor at his Jalsa office, on his impromptu tour and during his private meetings. This is our UK Jalsa Salana 2019 special.
वफा का गुल सिता रहे, चमन का बाग़बा रहे,
Saturday afternoon, Jalsa Salana is well underway, and Huzoor is taking a moment to spread the true, peaceful message of Islam to the UK's Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral Tony Radakin. But at the gates of the site, a very different message is being preached. Having heard of this Islamic event, a Christian group arrives with placards and a cross to express their own beliefs.
Don't worry, we believe in God, He will sustain us.
News reaches Huzoor, who instructs the best hospitality be shown and the Christians must be invited to dinner.
Because I worked with so many sect of Muslims, not only Muslims, various other religions. What I really admire with Ahmadi Muslims is you guys are open in the sense we can really have, even though we disagree on things, we can really have that friendship, friendly discussions.
Elected president, they have their own organizational, regional, local, national structure.
The conclusion of Saturday's formal sessions means Huzoor has already delivered 4 speeches at this year's Jalsa Salana. However, the day's work is far from done. Overflowing delegations have arrived at Huzoor's makeshift office. Among the groups are 2 sets of American dignitaries.
Some of these staff members who were female asked about what is the opportunities for women. Huzoor said that they're educated, there are many doctors, architects and lawyers who are women. In fact, the president of the Lajna in the UK is a pediatrician or a doctor, rather, Huzoor mentioned. And Huzoor said that this is proof that they have an independence, they're not in the shadow of men.
He's a very personable, very cordial, loving person, and that came across in our meeting with him.
Well, it was wonderful. I was honored, that I had the opportunity to meet with His Holiness and have a little chance to interact and have a discussion with him. So he was asking each one of us for what we thought about Jalsa Salana. My observation, which I told him, was that I really feel the peace and love here. I keep hearing true Islam. And I said, I really think that your community is right on, that you are true Islam.
Another of the delegations is from Canada.
In this mulaqat was the minister responsible for education, minister for mental health, and another member of provincial parliament. Huzoor reminded all 3 elected representatives in the room that the government has a responsibility, and your government should play a model role towards your responsibility to the people you represent.
Even a few spare moments before the Maghrib and Isha prayers are not wasted. as Huzoor decides to tour the Jalsa site. On spotting the new moon, he follows the practice of the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and offers dua. Huzoor now walks through the flags to the Al-Hakam exhibition. Next, Huzoor turns to the Review of Religions marquee. Sunday evening. This year's Jalsa Salana has ended, but Huzoor's work certainly hasn't. Almost as soon as the proceedings conclude, Huzoor graciously grants formal photos to several groups. Immediately after, meetings begin with a dozen or so delegations, which will continue right up until Maghrib and Isha. One group includes leaders from the indigenous peoples in Canada.
The other chief there from Cumberland House, he gave an eagle feather. Eagle feather is a representation of friendship, and it's also a representation of being a leader and having an accomplishment. So if you receive an eagle feather, it's one of the highest honors in our indigenous beliefs.
Others include Muslim guests.
He gave us hope, actually. His bright smile and the nice gesture. He just gave me this really fatherly and just a great, close emotion. I felt really comfortable. I was able to say what was in my heart.
Alhamdulillah, I feel inspired. I feel the spirit in me when I have his hand shaking. And I'm very happy to meet him. And I pray to Almighty Allah to give him long life, to give him good health, inshallah, bikuratillahi.
On seeing the scale of Huzoor's responsibilities, even some of the guests are mystified.
To a certain extent, this must be an extreme load for him, really difficult. And I just tried to ask him if he's sleeping well, and he said it's no problem because he is under the guidance of Allah, of course.
After Isha, Huzoor attends the final public engagement of the day, a series of nikah marriage ceremonies where he leads the silent prayers. Monday morning, Huzoor is back in Islamabad, where a marquee has been erected outside his office. A delegation of Spanish guests are sharing their thoughts on the Jalsa Salana, when the discussion turns to a very serious subject: how one should react to the murder of a relative.
कह रहे हैं कि मुश्किल सवाल है उनके लिए आपको ये पूछना अगर आप पर ये होता आप क्या करते अगर आपको ये हादसा
होता तो जो कानून के दायरे में रह के उस मुल्क का कानून है उसके अंदर जो कार्रवाई हो सकती थी करते और अगर इस्लामी कानून चलता है किसी मुल्क में जो मुसलमान रहते हैं जहाँ तो वहाँ इस्लामी कानून के तो हमने तो इस वक्त तो हमारी तो गवर्नमेंट नहीं यही है ना हुकूमत जिस हुकूमत में रह रहे हैं उस मुल्क का जो कानून है उसके तहत जो भी मैक्सिमम कोशिश हो सकती है मुजरिम को सज़ा दिलवाने की सज़ा दिलवानी चाहिए ताकि दूसरों के लिए सबक हो माफ़ करने का सवाल ही कोई नहीं.
The rest of the morning is filled with a dozen or so smaller delegations in Huzoor's office.
¿Cómo se siente la presencia de Dios siendo consciente que es representante para toda la humanidad?
How do you feel as the representative of God and being the Khalifa of so many people?
How do I feel? अल्लाह ताला ने स्पुर्द कर दिया काम इसलिए काम करना है और एक बहुत बड़ा बोझ है तो खौफ ही रहता है अल्लाह ताला ने जो जिम्मेदारी डाली है उसका बोझ अदा हो भी रहा है कि नहीं.
One recurring theme is the impact of Huzoor's message during his Lajna address.
And what I liked very much, and I think something that it should be as an example for other communities, is how you, the place of the education here and how you celebrate new young people to encourage them to study and
to have better education and excel in education.
Yeah, and especially for girls when it was done in the same level as for the boys, it's great.
Yes, even our girls' literacy rate is better than boys.
It's 21st century, everywhere is that like this. Yeah, and
I think our girls, even in In underdeveloped countries, in Pakistan, in Rabwa, our girls' literacy rate is 99% and boys' literacy rate is 90%. Allegations raised against us, or we are denying the rights of our women, but at the same time, we are not denying the rights, but our way of giving them their due right is different. But they are at par with men. UK's naval chief was also present during my women's address. And after that, he said to me that your address, you were very direct. Yeah. So I said, this is how, I'm not a politician, this is why I have to be direct.
No, I found it inspirational. I think one of the biggest things that affects society is pride. And I think that the advice that you gave to women supersedes all that.
Yes. Anyway, the future of the nation is in women's hand.
That is true.
So now, if you want your country to progress, prosper, then you can do it. If women want their country to be doomed, then they can do it.
Understood.
After 4 consecutive hours of delegations, Huzoor leads the Zuhr and Asr prayers, following which he graciously announces more than 20 nikahs. Soon after, the back-to-back engagements continue. Today, there will be approximately 80 family mulaqats, triple the normal schedule, and again, these continue until Isha prayers.
Okay.
Huzoor's schedule follows a similar pattern on Tuesday and Wednesday. The delegations include Ahmadi Muslims from around the world expressing love for their Khalifa.
In Silver Spring, you had given me a Milky Way and a pen. I still have those 2 things.
You met me in Datul Rahman?
Yes.
And there, I gave you something?
Mm-hmm.
Now come in again. Take another one.
Nice.
Acha, you are more confident than your brother. Huh? And that chocolate, I think, must have expired now. So you take this new one, and take this with right hand. Take this pen and use it now.
One interesting question to come up in the American delegation revolves around a recent meeting between Ahmadi Muslims and their country's leadership.
Abdul Shukoor Sahib, bookkeeper from Pakistan, he had just recently met President Donald Trump, and in some of our chat groups, some people were upset regarding this. So I was just asking, what is Huzoor's guidance to someone who disagrees with Abdul Shukoor Sahib meeting the President of the United States?
You see, there was a conference, or the meeting arranged by the government of the United States for the persecuted people, right? And they invited the individuals who were persecuted from different ethnic groups or religious groups or any minority, right? And invitation was extended to Abdul Shukoor Sahib as well. So, with my permission, I say, okay, go. But he did not say any. He went there, he attended the conference, but he never behaved in a way as a beggar. He did not beg to the Prime Minister, to the President Trump, that please help me and give me something. Did he? No,
he did not.
So he did not. So, in this way, there's no harm in behaving like this, because when the Meccan Muslims were persecuted and the Holy Prophet ﷺ asked them to go to the Habsha, and they went there and they presented their case before the king, and Abu Sufyan was also there, and he said that they are against you and they are doing this thing and that thing. But the Muslim spokesperson said that we are being persecuted there, and Holy Prophet ﷺ has asked us to come to your country because you do justice, you can help persecuted people, we can stay in your country peacefully. So is there any harm in doing it? So we have an example during the time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So see, if he has gone there to attend the conference and he has expressed his views, his sentiments, and how he was persecuted and how his community is being persecuted and denied their rights. So I don't think there is any harm. But otherwise, we did not beg for any help. Even he did not claim asylum there. He came back after attending the conference. What is wrong in it? So you have a right to express your. You see, why you are trying to deprive him from his right of expressing himself? If he feels that he should, once he had the platform to speak from that platform, he spoke. So no harm, right?
The delegations are also made up of a number of international journalists and broadcasters, including a lady from Mayotte. She questions Huzoor on his stance regarding atheists.
Well, for you, it will be a threat. Atheism will be a threat, but if you ask, atheism would be dangerous or negative for humanity, atheism. Well, atheism. But in another...
If there are some morals, atheists also have morals. We are not against them. We are against their philosophy. If an atheist comes to join us in any of the good work, we shall join hand with him. If an atheist comes to help needy people, I say, okay, I'm ready to help, to join you for the help of the needy people. We shall say, okay, welcome, you can come. But his thinking, his philosophy, his ideology, we are against that. Because we are a Muslim, we are a religious community. Right? We believe in one God. We believe that God does exist. We believe that God speaks. We believe that even now God shows the signs. And you must have seen so many signs during Jalsa.
One of these signs is the tremendous wind with which Allah the Almighty is spreading Huzoor's message. By the time of the Friday sermon, news of the Jalsa Salana has already reached tens of millions worldwide.
इस वक्त तक कुल 183 मीडिया रिपोर्ट्स नशर हो चुकी हैं हमारे जो प्रेस एंड मीडिया मरकज़ी उसकी रिपोर्ट के मुताबिक मीडिया कवरेज का सिलसिला जारी है इस रिपोर्ट्स के ज़रिए 173 मिलियन से ज़्यादा अफराद तक पैगाम पहुँचा है और मीडिया जिसने कवरेज दी है BBC रेडियो 4 है BBC वर्ल्ड सर्विस है BBC एशियन नेटवर्क है और टेलीग्राफ डच नेशनल न्यूज़पेपर है स्काई न्यूज़ है ITV है एक्सप्रेस है हफिंगटन पोस्ट है प्रेस एसोसिएशन है न्यूज़ एजेंसी EFE स्पेनिश न्यूज़ एजेंसी है याहू न्यूज़ है और काफ़ी मुल्कों में UK ब्राज़ील हॉलैंड स्पेन अर्जेंटीन पनामा कोलंबिया चिली पेरू वेनेजुएला कैमरून नाइजीरिया बेल्जियम घाना इटली वगैरह में ये सारी कवरेज हुई है MTA के ज़रिए MTA अफ्रीका के ज़रिए 19 चैनल्स पर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ये कवरेज हुई और अल्लाह ताला के फजल से काफ़ी जमात के जलसे के साथ साथ लोगों की अफराद जमात की जलसे में शमूलियत के अलावा गैरों को भी तअसुरात हैं बहुत सारे जिन्होंने जलसे के दिनों में ये प्रोग्राम देखे और बड़े मुतासर हुए अल्लाह ताला जलसे में शामिल होने वाले अहमदियों के लिए भी जलसा सालाना इनके ईमान में तरक्की का बायस बनाए और हमेशा जो बातें इन्होंने सुनी और सीखी उनको अपने ऊपर लागू करने वाले हों, इस पर अमल करने वाले हों, और प्रेस और मीडिया के ज़रिए जो दुनिया को ख़बरें पहुंची हैं वो भी अल्लाह ताला करे कि लोगों के दिलों पर असर करने वाली हों और अहमदियत और हकीकी इस्लाम को कबूल करने का बायस बनाए उनके लिए।
सुकून है, करार है, दुआओं का हिसार है, हमें भी उससे प्यार है, उसे भी हमसे प्यार है, उसे भी हमसे प्यार है।